Welcome back to the Steven Tyler Show. And that's our intro.
Yeah, no intro anymore. We've been told it's terrible. This is
Please,
it.
we need a new intro, people. If you actually care about the show whatsoever,
Yeah, we'll take
us your
ideas.
thoughts.
we'll take suggestions.
I'll happily take suggestions. You know, we'll talk about all the failed suggestions next week. After
We'll have an entire show just talking about our intro suggestions.
Yeah, maybe we'll do like a middle of the week episode. I don't know.
That's a terrible idea.
That's a bad idea. But anyway, yeah, send us your suggestions. Can't figure it out, you know, like loudmouth and pasty. So, loudmouth and pasty, right? Because I'm loud and you're pasty.
That could be our. If the Steven Tyler Show name doesn't work, we can always switch to that.
Yeah, loudmouth and pasty. What do you guys talk about? Whatever we want. It's America. I'm loud. He's pasty. Let's go.
It's pretty good.
If you've never listened to the show before, the purpose of the show is that we talk about news that typically you don't see or you hear about on the mainstream stuff. Mainly things that we think are funny. And I think we got a couple good ones this week. I think this week is...
Yeah, I was out of town, and you decided to send me a whole bunch of stories because I didn't look at the news at all. That probably will make me angry this week, Steve. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, but you were out of country, so...
Yeah.
Well, welcome back. You're back in America. You didn't die.
Feels good. Feels good.
No terrorist decided to, Saudi Arabia your plane. And, I mean, hijack. Excuse me.
Although we talk about how we do unreported news, but we got a bunch of stories from Fox this week, so maybe not. We just do.
Yeah, but they didn't talk about it.
Yeah,
it was like they posted it on their website, and that was it.
It was like really small print at the bottom or something ridiculous.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, they did. I mean, like they talked about it, but not really. I think a lot of it. And we have a viewer topic too at the end. We end kind of heavy, I'd say, with immigration, but. Mike, friend of the show, he was on for education. He did go ahead and send us a link. Yeah,
we're not gonna ignore this one.
We're not ignoring this one. This one's being talked about. Please, if you think we're actually funny or loud and pasty,
we are those.
We are. Follow us on Twitter at @SteveTyler_show. Send us links. Send us stories. We will look at it. If we don't like it.
We'll never talk about it ever again.
Yeah, we'll tell you in a very kind way. If we like it, or if you want to come on and talk about it.
Oh, yeah, apparently that's a thing
we'll do that. I will happily have you on, as long as you're not an asshole.
Or use Google Chats.
Yeah, don't you? Yeah. Come on. McKaylen, you got to use... Get that shit...
Hangout, whatever the hell that is.
Straight. Yeah, Hangouts. Get that shit straight. Send your links, send your feedback to us, StevenTylerShow@gmail.com. Subscribe to us on iTunes. Follow us on Podbean, and find us on YouTube at The Steven Tyler Show. We are on all three of those. We are very active. If you follow us on Facebook, or if you're part of the group on Facebook and you actually listen to this, please post stuff. We'll talk about it. I love discussion. If I'm wrong about something, tell me. I'll call you an asshole, but if I feel that you're right at the end and we find facts, I'll admit that I was wrong. I'll still call you an asshole, but I'll admit that I was wrong.
I probably won't do that. I have too much pride.
Yeah, see,
it's my downfall. Right?
You got loudmouth and pasty over here. I'll admit my faults.
I have no fault.
I love being right. That's
I've never made a fault my entire life.
That's why we post our links with this. We show you people proof of what we're talking about. For any of those of you who don't know. Just saying. I want to get to this first story because this first story pisses me off.
This is the first thing I got. I get into the States, Steve, and this is the first one you sent me. I'm like, oh.
I don't want to hear your trifling bullshit.
This is gonna be a bad week.
I don't want to hear this.
Way to start off with this.
Federal court rules World War I Memorial Cross must be torn down. Back in 1925, the American Legion erected a memorial in Bladensburg, Maryland, to honor the memory of 49 men who perished during the World War I. The 40-foot-tall memorial became known as the Peace Cross. In 2014, the American Humanist Association, a group that believes in being good without a god, which has been proven impossible, filed a lawsuit alleging the cross-shaped memorial is unconstitutional and demanding it be demolished, altered, or removed. They allege the cross carries an inherently religious message and creates the unmistakable appearance of honoring only Christian servicemen. Today's decision excuse me, sets dangerous precedent by completely ignoring history, and it threatens removal and destruction of veterans memorials across America. Yeah, absolutely. On Wednesday, the Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals agreed and ruled the historic memorial must be torn down, all because the Bladensburg Memorial, Bladensburg, sorry, it's my northern Ohio accent is coming in. Bladensburg Memorial is in the shape of a cross. So, I guess, Tyler, my question, would be, since a cross that is without a doubt a symbol of Christianity is not allowed to be erected in order to honor men who served and died for our country, then what about the Star of David, which is on the gravestones of the Jewish members in the Arlington Cemetery? And what about the Islamic symbol of a star inside a crescent moon? Is that not allowed to be publicly represented because it assumes one thing?
I guess not.
Yeah, because apparently it's what would they say, unconstitutional?
It's okay to attack Christians, Steve. You can attack them. Anyone else, though? No, you can't.
I'm not trying to attack Jews or even Islam, which I can't stand.
But if this was a Islamic symbol,
oh my God, they'd be like, please.
They would never tear it down.
Put a bomb vest on it. Oh my God, make sure there are slaughtered children laying around the symbol at all times.
But there's no way they would have this attempt to remove it.
Do you see all the other bombings this week? Egypt just had 55 dead today.
Yeah, they didn't report about any of those.
Yeah, because Islam is such a great fucking religion.
But if we report on Islam bombing, Steve, the show would just be like
endless.
Like endless.
Yeah, we would
talk about one topic forever.
Yeah, I'd have to be on all the time. I can't do that. I got to work. I got a job to do.
You know what? The worst part of this cross.
Yeah.
Now, it's clearly a cross, but there's no Jesus anywhere on this cross.
Nope.
It's like, I can't tell from this one picture. It just takes like the top part.
Yeah, I can't.
There's no Jesus even on this cross.
Nope.
We're literally offended by shapes now, Steve.
I mean, it's
clear that it's about Christianity. That's what it is.
It's obviously about Christianity.
This group is attacking Christians. That's what it is.
Yeah. And I guess I don't understand why.
And it's called a peace cross.
It's been nicknamed the Peace Cross. It's
not even like the Christianity Jesus is the best cross. It's a peace cross.
No, it's so if a symbol is seen as something that cannot stand, okay. Now, excuse me, go with me on this, Tyler. Even though it's represented to those who died serving our country and is meant to honor them, but people are offended by it, then where is the line drawn that those who are faithful are not allowed to brandish their beliefs?
Apparently.
In my opinion, this opens the door to everything. So at some point you have to question Muslim prayer caps, Christians who wear crosses, Jews with yarmulkes, right? Where does it stop? This was here's a quote. This memorial has stood in honor of local veterans for almost 100 years and is lawful under the First Amendment, attorney Michael Carvin said. To remove it would be a tremendous dishonor to the local men who gave their lives during the Great War. I agree with that.
See, that was my question. Like, where does the First Amendment, like freedom of speech sort of stuff fit in here?
Yeah.
And I don't know the answer to that.
I don't either, but I feel like this is that, right? I mean, I feel that I guess they might fight that it wasn't Christians, it wasn't only Christians that erected it, or it wasn't only Christians that died. In which case, if they want to build an additional memorial or so, I'm okay with that. But if you're going to tear down something that I don't know. I feel that if you're going to change something, that's fine. But your initial wording, your first impression was shitty. Right?
Yeah.
I mean that's like saying I can't say that because I don't know if any positive Islamic group ever. I was gonna try and compare it. That's not gonna work. Trash.
This is just clearly an attack on Christianity. That's what it is.
I
If this was the Satanist cross for I don't even know, the devil, and it was worshipped for him or something, they wouldn't take it down. There's no way. But since it's Jesus, Christianity, it's fine to attack those people.
You know, there's an actual church to Satan now.
Well, yeah, but they don't have a giant cross that's been torn down.
No, they have the what was that?
Like a pentagon or something?
Yeah, pentagram. Is that what
Pentagram?
it's called? I don't know. They whatever they're.
Can we start erecting those? Is that?
Yeah, I guess that's gonna be next. They're gonna have mega churches of just here you go, Satan. This country. Sometimes it's like, man. I mean, First Amendment. I appreciate it, but you have the right to be upset, but you're gonna tear down something that honors people that died because it is a cross.
You know what? Moving on to the next story, Steve, because I think it links together.
Yeah, First Amendment, absolutely. I agree. This does link together, which it's not entirely there, bud. Go with us. Leftist plan scream helplessly at the sky. Events on anniversary of election. So we are coming up on 1 year since the election.
Whoa, what a great year it's been.
It's been a fantastic year. Actually, you know what? Aside from all the bullshit, a lot of shit's been done.
Better than the last 8, that's for sure.
I agree.
Obama. But it's all right, Steve, because we're going to scream at the sky until things change.
Thousands of leftists say they will attend events across the country on November 8th entitled Scream Helplessly at the Sky on the Anniversary of the Election. Huh. Interesting. Numerous Facebook pages have been set up to arrange meetups in major cities during which anti-Trump social justice warriors will literally wail uncontrollably at the heavens. The biggest event will take place at Boston Common with 3,600 people indicating they will attend and a further 27,000 marking themselves as interested. 27,000. You mean to tell me
this is one of those things I would totally go just to watch?
I would record this and just laugh. I'd get a nice, great, big, like movie theater family size popcorn.
One of those chairs that they put in the movie theaters now, like the real fancy leather ones.
Oh, those are nice. The ones that recline.
And like
I would just sit there. I'd have like 4 GoPros going so that I could see every angle and just laugh. I'm talking like maybe even put a diaper on and just piss myself laughing. This is going to be an absolute shit show. You mean the better part of 30,000 people were butthurt enough a year later?
That's a lot of people just to go and just go, ah!
Ah! I can't handle not getting my way. Ah! Fuck you.
The best line in this whole article, Steve.
Children.
Organizers are also encouraging people who can't attend the event to just yell in their own backyards. That is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
Come express your anger at the current state of democracy and scream helplessly at the sky. That's what the organizers are encouraging people to do.
Using words,
Jesus.
modes, or yells.
I mean, everyone.
Maybe we'll join in, Steve. We could go.
Oh, you know what? I want. You know what? I'll walk out in my little tree lawn in my apartment, and I'll have my dog. I mean, as he's taking a nice hefty shit. Just Do I have to clean it up, or do I? I have responsibilities. You got to clean up the messes you make. Well, liberal.
I just hope somebody goes. I just want one video. It would be so great.
Oh yeah, I'm so excited for this. I love watching the DNC videos of people getting just there was that one lady. You can see her crying and then she suddenly gets just real pissed off. And she throws up the middle finger and says, "Fuck Trump." I thought that was
hopefully she'll be there. We can get her on TV again.
Ah! And then you got the one that wore a lot of makeup and went to the.
I mean, these people, they're insane. They're insane.
People are funny. This is great. This is like I wake up and I'm like, can't wait to see these videos.
I'm waiting.
Oh man,
when they come out, if we find them, we got to talk about them.
Man, that'll be like we'll be talking about like the week of my birthday. Man, it's like I won twice.
Happy birthday!
It will be. No one. 8th. They'll probably carry over. It'll be. We'll. All right, moving on to just.
This was really life changing right here, Steve. I turned my life around after this.
I'm no longer a conservative.
Yeah,
ladies, because I'm a feminist now. Just saying that.
I'm a feminist attack helicopter now.
I'm a gender fluid feminist who thinks that men should apologize for everything ever because we're the problem.
I'm gonna let you read this, Steve. It's pretty.
Oh yeah, no, this one is long, so I need y'all to bear with me. Okay. This is the most insane Facebook post by a male feminist you will ever read. It's the title. On Monday, California-based male feminist published an apology to women on behalf of men. Okay, I already have an issue with this, but I'm gonna read through this. Entitled, "Letter to the Divine Feminine from the Wounded Masculine." Huh? Yeah, because you're a real fucking man right now.
Well,
Adam Rubin.
Maybe it's a good poem. How do you know?
I don't. Oh, because I read it. I'm gonna read it again. Adam Rubin frames women as oppressed, relative to and by men across human history and into the present. Well, see, yes, in a sense.
He speaks for all of us. All right.
Well, Tyler, I'm going to touch on that later on after I read this little rant that he apparently was wearing, or he was going off on when he was wearing his pussy hat. Letter to the Divine Feminine from the Wounded Masculine. I know that words can never heal the wounds we have created. But on behalf of men everywhere, I want to say I'm sorry.
Sounds like a Justin Bieber song.
So incredibly sorry for everything. The harassment, the abuse, the rape. I can't even begin to imagine the pain we have inflicted upon you. Centuries of oppression, pain passed down through generations. Your voice is silenced, your body shamed, your heart's assaulted. All of pain and all of the wounds we have created have come from our own. The wounded masculine. If you close your eyes, you will see it. Thousands of little boys with thousands of hurting hearts staring out in the darkness, afraid, hurting, without being able to voice our pain, crying without being able to show our tears, asked to stand strong and toughen up. So we bottle up our anger, store our confusion, repress our emotions. And these little boys, lost and confused, are raised with this conditioning. And with no space to share and process their pain, they hold it in, stored on a cellular level and wanting to be expressed, but it's not. So it remains stuck and it builds up within. And as a fear-based emotions stew within, they mold into fear-based actions, anger, abuse, violence, and eventually they are released in a rage of fury upon the women of the world. Excuse me. And this deafening silence is passed down from fathers to sons, one generation after another. But it stops here. It's time for us as men to put an end to the oppression and provide the divine feminine with the pure unconditional love that she deserves. The only way we stop inflicting these wounds is to heal our own. And as the wounded masculine heals, the divine masculine steps forward, out of the shadows and into the light. It's time for us to heal that which has been hidden, to nurture that which has been neglected, to speak that which has been ashamed, calling forward all men to acknowledge the pain and hurt which has moved them to hurt others, and inviting them to step into a space where we share and express and heal this pain, a safe space where we truly listen and lead with love over fear, so we can finally replace all the anger and abuse and violence it's been causing and transmute it back into our only truth, love. And as we heal our own pain and come back to love, we finally provide the space for the divine feminine to heal the wounds we have inflicted upon her. As we heal together, we rise together.
That was the most beautiful thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, you know what? I got a knack for reading that shit. That actually sounded really good in my head.
You can be a pro reader.
I mean, I might be a narrator. Who knows? Fuck you, Morgan Freeman.
we got the Steven Tyler show.
Just because I'm white doesn't mean you gotta be mad about it.
This is one of those things. I don't even know what this guy's talking about.
Like she started out right. He started out okay. I'm like, all right, yeah, women have been oppressed, until they were able to vote and they can drive in the United States anyway. Yes, rape is a thing. No, 1 in 5 women. If you fucking tell me that 1 in 5 women are raped, you're wrong. You are unbelievably wrong. Incredibly, undoubtedly wrong and stupid. Well, the CDC said so. The CDC was a poll. It was a poll. A very minute poll of which, I don't know, you're gonna base findings off of a poll without actual having facts, because you can't call that from a poll. But if you look at the FBI statistics, you're way fucking wrong. Just saying. Not trying to take that away from you. I'm not at all. Rape is awful. We've said it on the show. We will continue to say it because liberals are fucking stupid. Rape is bad. Anybody who...
Nobody wants to see someone get raped or violence or
man
hurt.
or woman.
Right.
Believe it or not, men get raped too. Whether it be from a dude or a chick. Same for a woman. It happens both ways. Now I feel it's much higher. Women are the ones who are raped, which is awful. We said it. We will continue to say it. But this guy, this fucking idiot, to go out and say all this stupid shit, this is dumb. Why? You're insinuating that women can't do it on their own. You're taking away the feminism in your words. You're implying that they need men to do it. Well, I've had a single mom. My mom raised me and all 3 of my younger brothers. I'm pretty sure she didn't need any man for that shit. But hey, what do I know? I've also had a single dad after my parents got divorced, who helped raise me and my brother when he got to see us every weekend, because that's how the courts see it. It goes both ways. Women and men can be strong in their own regards. It's not one or the other. When you continuously label this stupid shit, all it does is cause more divide. I don't understand why people can't just say, oh, well, okay, so you guys got married, you had kids, didn't work out. Feel bad, you're going to get divorced. All right, so what's going to happen? Okay, such and such is going to happen. Years later, kids become adults. They're not so fucked up. What does that mean?
Oh, you're kind of fucked up.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty messed up. I'm here doing the show talking about how I'm not fucked up. But it sucks to see your parents get separated. That's what I'm afraid of in my life, in my own love life. Truth be told, I am. But I'm not going to sit here and shy away from it. It is what it is. I want kids. I want a family. I want to be a dad. And I feel that by sitting there and you have to step in. Abuse is awful. It is awful. That's why in the U.S., when women have all these rights, incredible rights, compared to places literally like Saudi Arabia.
Hey, they can drive now. They can drive.
Not true. They can. But they're going to create special lanes, women-only driving lanes, and in order for them to drive, they have to have a what's the word? Their
permit?
Guardian. They have to have a guardian with them. They have to have a male with them. They cannot just go to the store. They can't do any of that. They can't do anything without a man with them. But that's their culture. So if you're going to sit here and say, on behalf of all men, shut the fuck up. I don't want a woman who's going to sit here and say, I'm oppressed, I'm sad, I've been held back. I don't need that. That's negative. I need a woman who's going to be strong enough to keep up with me and be just as confident as I am. And with our kids, I don't need a woman that's, oh, I've been raped. It's really messing me up. I understand that. I understand that, and I can appreciate to an extent. Anything I can do to help you, I will. If you show me you're strong enough to go past that, that's fine. I don't need somebody who's looking for pity. That's wrong. That's not strength. That's weakness. That's somebody who's looking for a handout, which is what a whole lot of this country is, and that's what we're going to talk about later on, truth be told. But
yeah, I took this whole poem like in a different direction when I first read it. First of all, I don't know what this guy's like asking for, which really bothers me just in general.
He's trying to get laid. That's what it seems like. He's like, man, this dude's going to score some puss.
That's going to be my second point. But like,
this dude's going to score
he
some.
He comes out and he says that, well, nobody's going to disagree with you that harassment, abuse, and rape are wrong. So
yeah, I mean, seriously, what? So you're making points that everybody who's ever breathed in the United States, taking a breath, understands.
Yeah, nobody's going to come out and say, boy, rape is good. It's a stupid. It's a way to start out with something everyone agrees with. But then he goes into saying that it's about that we bottled up our emotions or something like that. Like that's his.
Because I think that goes back to the social preset is men have to. They're not allowed to show emotion. They're not allowed to cry. They're not allowed to show weakness.
But how does that cause people to physically harm other people? That's why. Well, there you go.
I think he feels that it over time it just fizzes over and it causes this emotional rage that is rape and abuse.
I think this is someone who got shot down and is trying to pick up chicks.
Honestly. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is a guy who feels this way himself and is trying not to rape somebody.
No, I mean, I didn't mean like that. I meant like.
No, I mean, but seriously, why are you talking
some girl? This? That's what I think. I think he's trying to impress some girl.
You're trying to get laid. I mean, I agree with that, but I also feel like what? I mean, you're trying to impress a chick, so you're going to speak about all this trash? Like, you have to have some type of actual understanding to say this dumb shit.
And then the best part is it ends with something everyone has to agree with too, right? So it starts with all these bad things. No one's going to say that they agree with that. And then it ends with love. And love is obviously a good thing. So you're like, oh, I agree with this. Don't know what the hell this middle section is. And I agree with the end.
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, and for all men, that pisses me off. It's like, no, I like I said before.
Yeah, I think did we vote for this guy to speak for
us? No,
us?
I mean, I don't need someone to sit there and
speak for us.
I mean, dude, you emasculated yourself. And all of us, because you said, on the behalf of all men everywhere. Fuck.
Hey, it's all right. He drew "I'm sorry" in the sand, so I'm sure he's really sorry.
Oh yeah, I'm sure she's abundantly sorry right before the tide came in. What an asshole. I mean, so go over to Saudi Arabia, say the same shit. You know what? You're gonna be thrown in the jails. You're gonna be hung or set on fire for being a fucking idiot and bowing down to women because that's their culture. They don't like that. Good job, asshole. All you're doing is fitting the narrative of dumb liberal. That's it. That's all you are. If you, like you said, you started off with something everybody agrees with. Nobody is going to start reading that and say, you know what? I think women should lose their rights again. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
no one's going to start off and say, you know what? I kind of want to rape somebody today. So, or you know what? Man, rape's okay. Those guys shouldn't be in prison. No one's going to say that. Nobody. And if you do, you should be in prison.
There's probably something wrong with you. Let's
and go get some help. Hopefully you're none of our followers and people who are listening right now are laughing. But were women oppressed? Yes, absolutely. In the United States, you have the right to vote. Women who typically fit our demographic right now have always had the right to vote. Always. You're allowed to drive. And you have your own lives. Typically, probably your own jobs.
You're more likely to be college educated than we are.
Yeah, no shit.
So, I don't know.
So, I mean, hey, You're welcome?
I don't know. This whole thing about we have to tell men not to rape is just stupid.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't understand this new social construct is, well, we need to reiterate to everybody that raping is bad. No shit.
This is another thing they do. It's something you can't disagree with.
No, did you take a breath today? Oh yeah, I did. I started breathing when I first woke up. You didn't breathe when you were sleeping? Oh no, I don't know. I was sleeping. You're stupid. You took a breath. You're breathing.
But
you are intelligent enough to understand that doing this to people is wrong.
What are you gonna say? You're gonna say no, we shouldn't do that. It's like a catch-22. Right? Or else they'll go, oh, you're supporting rapists. No,
I feel like
just think it should be pretty obvious.
People who it just upsets me that personally, and my point of view. Okay, this is an obvious opinion. When people say, we have a rape culture in the United States, I want to laugh at their stupidity because it's not true. I want to laugh in their face, like tears, like almost puking, laugh at them because it's so untrue and it's so far from any type of truth. It's just hysterical. I know plenty of women who have been sexually assaulted, raped, actually sexually assaulted and raped. Not like, well, like Lena Dunham said, I had drunken sex with a guy and I regret it. So she counted that as rape, which is, according to the CDC, they allowed that guideline in there when they were doing their polling, which is, in fact, it's a poll. So for those of you who don't know, there you go. So anybody who says, well, 1 in 5, women are... No, you're stupid. Why don't you do some information seeking? Listen to Crowder. Steven Crowder. He's got a fantastic video about it. And I think that would be very informative for anybody, truth be told. But no, to sit there and say that, oh, you regret having sex with somebody is rape, that's absolutely insane. And you ruin people's lives over that. Men, right? When you go, oh, he raped me. His life is what? Over.
He's done.
He's done. Especially if he goes to court and he's convicted because you regretted a decision that you made. Guess what? He's never going to get a job. Well, not a good job.
Going to be publicly ostracized.
In prison, you know what happens to him in prison? He is just violently raped himself. Publicly ostracized. He has to. You have to file as a sex offender. I mean, it's insane. His life is over just because I regret this. You're a piece of shit, and I feel that your ass should go to jail. You're gonna sit there. It's a false police report. It's a false report. Your ass is getting it. That's wrong. Every way, shit upsets me. So that's my little rant. Hopefully y'all still listening. Moving on to the next story. Melania Trump cuts bloated First Lady payroll from Michelle Obama days. Now, this is a Fox News story article, so it is going to be biased. But it makes good points, in my opinion.
We put this story in here because we both didn't realize that the First Lady actually had a payroll.
Yeah, she has an incredible payroll.
Apparently. Michelle Obama's payroll was like $1.24 million. 16 people for her first year. That's a lot of people. What do they think they do, Steve?
Yeah. What do you need 16 people for? Like, what do you? I guess I don't know. I mean.
Yeah. See, I was just sort of shocked. But where was Melania?
See, we were talking about that, and I think it's Melania. I think.
Let me just call her M.
Well, because I feel that's almost insulting.
Why?
Because
you're not. M in James Bond? Is that who I'm thinking of? I don't remember. But Melania has 4, so we've already reduced from 16 to 4. And she saved about like $800,000 in salaries just on the first year.
Huh, you don't say. I mean, it also, like, People, here's the liberal rebuttal. Well, she's already a millionaire. She already has all this money. She doesn't need that. She doesn't need to pay people for that. Well, then why did Michelle Obama? And I still don't understand this. Okay, why do the first ladies need a chief of staff? What are you doing? I mean, I guess I don't know. Do they go to events?
Yeah, see, I don't really know either.
See, I don't know. I don't have a vagina, and I'm not married to a president. So I'm seriously, I don't know.
You could be married to a president.
Well, I mean, I could also have a vagina, but I'm still a dude. So, hey, regardless, I don't know.
Like, are these, like, personal aides? Like,
yeah, I feel like, are these people that are with them all the time?
And these aren't, like, security people. This is beyond that.
This isn't even security. This is just people with day-to-day stuff.
Actually, they got a staff list on this site. This would be a pretty sweet gig. Like, a lot of these people are pulling in like 50 to 172,000 is the top.
Yeah, I think that was the chief of staff.
But what does she do?
She's apparently she's with Michelle all year. I mean, seriously. 2009 annual report listed 16 staffers for Michelle Obama. Her press secretary said at the time the staff actually included 24 people. A 2009 factcheck.org story said Obama's 24 aides might have broken records. What do you need that many people for?
That's a lot of people to help.
That is a lot of to take all them fucking vacations.
I guess maybe she's got like one, and that guy's got an assistant, and he's got an assistant, and just.
So it's just top heavy. So it's really like the unpaid intern doing everything. That's hysterical.
I don't know. I really don't know what any of these people do. I did see she had a travel aide because she refuses to use Travelocity like us normal folks.
Oh, you're gonna throw that shade?
Yeah, support the gnome.
Yeah, support the gnome.
The gnome needs help.
Yeah,
working hard out there.
I'll end on this with this story. I mean, like, I might be a little ignorant with this because I don't understand what the first lady would need in that sense.
I could understand, like Melania's got 4. That makes sense. 4 seems reasonable.
Yeah, I mean...
Actually not. Now that I think about it, maybe 2 I could understand.
I mean, pay him a little more. But,
24?
Seriously, 24? Yeah, what do you need 24 people for? I mean... I don't know. I like I said, I might be a little ignorant with this, but if you guys listening,
come up with 24
have any
jobs.
Insight, please.
Come up with 24 jobs.
You have any insight into this? Please let us know. Yeah, fill us in. Give us insight. I would like to know. Now we move on to a topic that is.
We talked about something like this before.
Yeah, we did.
Thought it was stupid then, and it's stupid now.
I agree with that. You Are My Slave, School and Civil War dress-up activity.
Who thought this was a good idea, Steve?
Big Shanty Elementary School in Kennesaw, Georgia. A new battle over the Civil War flags and symbols has sprung up. The school last month invited 5th graders to dress up as characters from the Civil War. Okay, I'm okay with that. So far, this is okay, right? Davis says a white student dressed as a plantation owner and approached her son and said, "You are my slave." Okay. Well, I think the line's been drawn now. That's not okay. Now, granted, they're 5th graders. They're immature. They don't understand. Okay? So you got to take it context. We can only understand. I can only read it. I can't hear it. Davis wants the county school system to understand the pain this has caused her son, and also wants the school to stop with the Civil War dress-up day. Kennesaw, Georgia, the school officials say there will be no more Civil War-related student dress-up activities at a Georgia elementary school after its Civil War day sparked conflict among students, parents, and others. So,
I don't understand when we're saying characters from the Civil War, Steve.
Yeah, they didn't specify characters.
Like, are we talking like political people?
I would imagine
like random.
They never. I mean, obviously not, because they talked about slaves. So it's like, I clearly it's. I mean, the one, what she said that a plantation owner, a white student that was dressed up as a plantation owner, came over and said her son was a slave. So when you say dress up, obviously it's not like, oh, Abraham Lincoln. You know,
that's what I would have assumed.
Yeah, that's exactly what I would have assumed. You know, you have generals, presidents, vice presidents, even maybe the wives. I mean, seriously. I mean, like you assume, and nope, plantation owners. See, like that was a part, but I don't feel that.
That is a shit idea.
I feel like that could have been done in a little different way. Now, I can't specify a way, but I feel like instead of calling a black student a slave, which now I agree it's a shitty idea, I also agree that it may be taken out of context. Just because you're black doesn't mean you're a slave, and just because someone who's dressing up as a white plantation owner comes over and says, hey, you're my slave, doesn't mean that he actually sees you as a slave. Right? If you allow words to hurt you, then good luck in your future. I mean, he didn't say anything derogatory, in my opinion. It's a fifth grader dress up day. So when you take, in my opinion, when you take it for what it's worth, it's a fifth grader dress up day. I feel that maybe they can leave the plantation owners and the slave bit out. I think if you eliminate that and you go only to
like political people and big figures everyone knows, but
you
pick these random obscure things.
Yeah, I mean, like they didn't even specify the name of the plantation owner. If it was just some random plantation owner, and he's like, "Oh yeah, you're my slave," it's like, whoa. Then I think that's different. But if you're looking at political figures, then I think this is being way blown out of proportion, and you need to suck it up.
This reminds me of when we did that story when the kids got tied up and had to watch Roots.
Yep.
I just don't understand how these sort of ideas come into people's head and they go, you know what'll be a good idea? And then they act this out.
And that one was in California. This is Georgia. I mean, it's like, that's two different, in my opinion. That's two different, like, you know.
Cultures?
Yeah.
Yeah, well. There's a lot of idiots out there, Steve. That's what this story tells me. That this got all the way through, and it's been going on.
I mean, I don't know. It feels like things always have to.
I agree that they left a lot out, though, so we don't really know.
Yeah.
Specifically.
I mean, thing that gets me is it always goes back to racism. Always. And I'm really tired of talking about racism.
Must have been that racist fifth grader.
Oh, man, it must have been the white guy that dressed up as a plantation owner. Now, if a guy walked in as like Colonel Sanders, it'd be like, oh, okay. Well, that's kind of funny, but...
Colonel Sanders? What did he have to do with the Civil War?
I mean, I don't know.
He gave everyone his delicious chicken.
I mean, come on. He kind of looks like a bad guy. I mean, he's got great chicken. I love his chicken. The original recipe. But I think overall, if they just keep going back to racism, they don't, they don't exemplify any of the positives. It's always, oh man, we got to focus on that negative, that span in time where, man, everybody was slaves, and yet they only focus on black people. They don't focus on the Irish. They don't focus on the Native Americans. They don't focus on any other people. The Chinese, for God's sake, they built the railroads.
Yeah, they were treated like shit.
Like absolute shit. They don't focus on anybody else. And
maybe we'll have Irish dress-up day, Steve.
I don't know. Cultural appropriation.
They could.
You know what the funny part is? We're already both pretty Irish.
Yeah.
I have a really mean accent, so I just think that people who continuously allow words to hurt them.
They're painful, Steve. It hurts.
Bitch, please. Like you're not going to amount to anything. You can't. How do you expect to be successful in anything you do when you can't take criticism or a little bit something that might upset you? You're allowed to speak your mind. Absolutely. I think you are more than allowed to to talk about what's upsetting you, but when you sit there and you let your life be run by it, I think that's where you got to draw the line and say, hey, all right, this was taken out of context. I'm sorry I didn't. You have to have a conversation. You can't, whoa, he said this. I'm not a slave. No kidding. You're not a slave. It's dress-up day. Yes, okay, you don't want to be a slave? That's fine. We'll either find somebody else or we will cut it out completely. There are ways to go about it. My opinion.
That was a good ending.
I'm just saying. I think it was a way. I think there's different ways to go about it.
I like what you said about the conversation.
Be a person about it. Don't be an asshole. I don't know.
There you go.
Next story.
Now this video is hilarious.
This is hysterical. I watched it this morning. Watched it early in the week. It's really funny to see the reaction. Where we'll get to it. Students love Trump's tax plan, but wait a minute. When they're told it's Bernie's, huh? Interesting. President Donald Trump's proposal for comprehensive tax reform was almost immediately dismissed as heartless and impractical by his political opponents, which was absolutely true. When the same ideas are packaged under Bernie Sanders' name, just his name, okay, not his beliefs at all, because he's a socialist. However, liberal college students excitedly endorse them. There's a recording. Some of the interviews and some of the students asked questions about the tax reform answered, it's not the most efficient nor beneficial to the general populace, said one student when asked under opinion of Trump's plan. It's better for the upper class than anyone else, added another. So, in my rebuttal, I would ask them what they think would be the most efficient way to benefit the populace. And typically, from most liberals that I've ever heard speak about this, it would be, well, you got to give more. You got to give a tax break on the poor. Why? They're poor for what reason? Why are they? Why are Tyler? This is opinion. This wasn't something that I actually planned. Why would somebody be poor? Probably. If you're in your mid-20s, just coming out of college, why are you poor? Right? You just went to college for what? So you can get a job, right?
Yeah, poor habits, poor decisions, shit like that.
You're poor money making. You spend your entire college career just drinking your ass away, being a piece of shit. What are you going to do with the rest of your life after you get out? Oh, continue to be a piece of shit. Oh, wait a minute. So you mean that you learned really nothing from the real world during your well, what'd you go to college for? Oh, business. Oh, so how many millions of other people went to college for business? And you didn't specify anything. Oh, psychology. Oh, you know what I mean? All these broad shit, which is okay. You're allowed to be broad, but if you don't specify on something, then you are just generic, and you shouldn't expect a job. My opinion.
Yeah, you gotta specify. Be specific.
I went to college for multiple things because I couldn't figure out what I wanted to do. Business management with a minor in marketing was one. Psychology, broad, was another. And criminal justice was another. I couldn't figure out what I wanted to do. Dropped out, got a full-time job. Now I'm considered middle class. And I don't have a college degree. How about that? Hey!
We made it!
Oh, my God. What do you mean? College... You don't have to have a degree to be successful. Wow. Oh, man. Who would have seen that coming? Anybody who actually used their head ever.
But the best part of this video, if you actually watch, it's like 3 minutes, right?
It is hysterical.
So the guy pretty much goes out and asks like their opinion of the Trump plan if they've seen it. And they're all like, oh, it's terrible. Worst thing I've ever seen. It's for the upper class. The stereotypical
Oh, my God. I talked about... Oh, yeah, go ahead.
So, you know, the first thing you think is, wow, they probably don't have a clue what's in there.
They have no idea what's in there.
So this guy goes out there and says, oh, how do you feel about, what'd he say? There was something about the child credit.
Oh, yeah. The
death tax.
Child credit, tax, death tax, and I can't remember what the third, I believe there was a third thing. I can't remember what it was off the top of my head.
I don't remember. But
everybody agreed. Everybody.
Everyone says, "Oh, those sound great." And the best part is the death tax is the part where people say, "Oh, that's trying to help the wealthy," right?
Yeah.
Because it lowers the
Inheritance
taxes.
Yes.
But
and the one chick even said, "Yeah, I'm from Jersey, and the inheritance tax that's insane." She says it. It's hysterical.
But they say, "Oh, but Bernie came up with these ideas," and
Yep.
they're like, "Oh, it sounds great.
We love Bernie. Fuck yeah!"
And then at the end, he goes, "Oh, these are actually all Trump's policies in his tax plan," and all the people just have like this blank look on their face.
Like, but they all look stupid as shit, and it is hysterical. Oh,
and then they end with, "Oh, well, maybe we shouldn't have judged Trump's tax plan without seeing it." And then they talk about how people just jump to conclusions when they hear Trump's name, like they did in the prior 2 minutes.
Exactly. Like they understand and admit their faults at the end. So it's like, to me, it's I love it. I laughed so hard, but it was like, okay, they actually understood that they were judgmental pieces of shit, and maybe they'll look at it a little differently next time. I hope. I really hope.
This is the sort of stuff that makes me remember. This is why I weep for humanity sometimes, because these are the sort of people that get out there. These are the people that are at the protests, Steve. They get out there with their signs.
Maybe not anymore.
They get out there with their signs, Steve, and they say,
they just got proven wrong about a tax plan that they thought was. See, the thing is, like, when you say it's only going to benefit the upper class, that shit, it's literally one of the most annoying things that I hear. Because you look at the top 1%, right? That pays most of the taxes, which would include Trump. And what was Trump before he became president? He was a massive job creator. Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nobody's going to deny that.
No, see, nobody with a brain would deny that, right? But the same thing could be said for any Democrat CEO. Let's say Mark Cuban, because we talked about him a couple weeks ago. What is he? He's an insane job creator. He creates jobs. Giving these people a tax break from 35%, which it is right now, correct? Or am I wrong?
It's like the highest in the world, the corporate tax rate.
It's fucking insane. And even Bernie, during the debate with Ted Cruz this week, said, "Well, we got the highest tax credit on the top one." I can't do Bernie because I'm not fucking stupid, but
also your hair's not gray enough.
Yeah, I don't have any hair, and I'm not hunched over. Yeah, anyway, tax break from 35% down to 25%. Is huge. To me, that's
a 33% decrease. So
yeah, I mean, when someone pays out $35 million in taxes over 1 year, you know how much time? You know how many times I'm gonna make $35 million throughout my lifetime? Never. I don't know if I'll ever have that throughout my entire life. Someone who did that in a whole year span, paid that in taxes. That takes away from business, right? You know who the man that was that did that? President Donald Trump. Anyway. Woo! Moving on.
Last story, Steve.
Yes, sir.
Last story from Mike.
Mike.
This is Mike's story. We get a lot of shade thrown in this because people say, "Oh, we said stories and we never look at it."
Well,
we're going to now.
This one happens to be immigration, something that I absolutely hate talking about, mainly because I love talking about it.
But we're going to use this story for the end,
Absolutely.
Steve.
Absolutely.
1.4 million illegals working under stolen Social Security numbers. Boy, that's a tongue twister, according to this audit. Admittedly, I don't know too much about Social Security numbers.
I do not either. All I know is what I'm reading here. So we're gonna touch on that. I'm gonna read through it a little bit, and if you anybody else has insight on it, please talk to us. We actually like talking to the people who enjoy us, our fans. I love it. I love talking to you guys. Most illegal immigrants who pay taxes have stolen someone else's legal identity, and the IRS doesn't do a very good job of letting those American citizens and legal immigrants know they're being impersonated. The tax agency's inspector general said in a new report released Thursday. The theft creates major problems for the American citizens and legal foreign workers whose identities are stolen and who have to deal with explaining money that they never earned. But the IRS only manages to identify half of the potentially 1.4 million people likely affected by the fraud in 2015. The Treasury Inspector General for Tax Administration said in its report, quote, cases of employment identity theft, can cause significant burden to innocent taxpayers, including the incorrect computation of taxes based on income that does not belong to them, end quote, said J. Russell George, the Inspector General. The IRS knows of 2.4 million people a year who file taxes using an individual taxpayer identification number, which is generally given out to immigrants who aren't authorized to work, but the IRS is not allowed to talk with Homeland Security to help agents identify who and where, those taxpayers are. The migrants file their forms with their individual taxpayer identification numbers, but the W-2 forms they submit show valid Social Security numbers that they fraudulently gave to their employer to clear an initial work authorization check. A staggering 87% of forms filed online using their individual taxpayer identification numbers showed income credited to a Social Security number. More than half of forms filed by paper also showed the same fraudulent behavior. The IRS tries to make the files of the fraud victims when electronic filings are used, but the tax agency misses about half of the victims, the Inspector General said. For paper forms, the IRS did even worse, the audit found. So, the tax agency, in its official reply to the report, insisted it takes identity theft very seriously, quote unquote. So, my initial response to that is, no shit, this is serious. I mean, well, we take it very seriously. You're doing half of the job you need to be fucking doing. I think your lack of doing your fucking job is very serious right now. Right?
See, I don't know anything about this, right? I have no idea how this works.
But you have an opinion.
I'm assuming
I just read the facts that we were given.
Right,
so now it's opinion time.
So I'm assuming first that the problem is that people are using fraudulent Social Security numbers, and then that money gets earned, and the person with the actual Social Security number has to pay taxes on it.
Yep.
Right. So I understand that.
And you don't get your return because they're filing your return.
But isn't most of this going to be identified through people getting something back? Like they're going to have this income, or they don't get their return, or whatever?
Yeah.
Shouldn't people be noticing this? That's my question.
They should be. That's why I understand. But then it's like, well, wait a minute. Why aren't people like pissed off they're not getting returns? Oh, people aren't, and they're saying there aren't, but then they can't get it anyway because the government already paid the illegals who filed for them. So you're not getting your money anyway.
Right. So if that happened, wouldn't I notice? That's
you'd notice. You'd notice. It's like it's identity theft. You'd notice identity theft, but you're not going to get anything back. Somebody already filed it for you. Then the government's not going to pay you out twice. Or are you saying something different?
No, I guess I just don't understand like where this gap is coming from. That's my.
I guess I don't understand how illegal immigrants are afforded this ability to do this.
Well, I guess you just use a Social Security number when you sign up, right? You got to verify. You give them just any Social Security number because it'll go through because it's a real number. Yeah,
but how are they getting these Social Security numbers? You're illegal. This is specified illegal.
I'm sure they stole them from somewhere, right?
I mean, yeah, but I mean, like, it's like I want to know how the fuck are you getting them? How are you stealing them? You're illegal. 1.4 million registered, the ones that they know about. 2.4, they estimated 2.4 they don't even know about, or 2.4 total. How are you missing this?
Well, this article came out in June, but the Equifax hack, they lost 143 million Social Security numbers.
Yeah, they lost like half the country. They were like, yeah, sorry.
So I mean, I'm sure that's not the difficult part. I'm sure it's pretty easy to get a Social Security number, a legal one. Now I don't know. I've never actually tried, but with all these hacks going on, there's been a lot. They don't really talk about them, but the Equifax hack was the biggest. What were some other ones? There was Sonic. You know Sonic, the what do you call it? The restaurant with the roller skates. They just got hacked recently. Macy's, Home Depot. I mean, now most of these are credit cards, but the Equifax was Social Security numbers and everything. So I don't know. I just don't know if the point of this story is the line where it says the IRS tries to mark the files of the fraud victims, but the tax agency misses about half. Like, is that someone reporting it? That's what they didn't really explain. Like, is that someone coming forward and saying, I have this undeclared income that isn't mine because I have my W-2s and someone stole my identity and the IRS doesn't just do their job? See, if that's the problem, then I agree with you. But this article doesn't really explain it. And then obviously the paper forms are worse. Paper forms are always...
Oh, yeah, they're always worse.
It's just always worse. It's harder to manage, easier to lose.
Right.
So I just don't understand. This is a kind of story where I'd have to go and like do some actual research.
I guess the way I think about this is just, it's simply put, I'm going to let a very wise man put it for me.
I will build a great wall.
And I think that he absolutely will, and I think that we should help him do that.
The prototypes went up. I saw
the prototypes went up. You know what the funny thing is? There was some stupid liberal that they told a Trump supporter that there was a way to get over the walls, and it was ladders. And it's like, well, yeah, okay, you could do that. You could absolutely do that. You could just put a couple ladders together, and climb over the wall. But I'm pretty sure they're going to beef up security for the wall. Pretty sure. Now, I don't know for sure. Okay. They're going to beef up security for that wall. And eventually it's going to get to the point to where that's okay. Because as long as that wall stops 9 to 12% of them every year.
It pays for itself.
Over a 10-year span, that wall does what? You already said it. Pays for itself. Now, Tyler, this is my opinion, because apparently we're not going to deport all these fucking pieces of shit, because California has filed itself as a sanctuary state because it's just so.
Because they're so progressive over there.
Oh my God, they're just so amazing.
They're showing us how we should live, Steve.
If I could tolerate the heat, I would move to Texas.
I can't move there. That's where all my exes are from.
Aha! What a guy! This guy. Now, if I said something like, you know what? What if we allowed all the illegal immigrants, okay, to legally come to, what would it be? Government buildings of some sort. I can't think of it off the top of my head. And say, hey, I'm here illegally. I want to become a citizen. And go through it that way. And actually become legal citizens. Pay taxes. Have your own social security number. Go through it that way. Assimilate. The big word being there, assimilate. To the American society. Or fuck off. Walk off, get deported.
But there's already a legal process to immigrate.
There is, and they already don't do that. These guys are here. Well, I can't say guys because that's offensive. These people are here already. We're not going to deport them all. They have an entire state that eventually is going to be the majority, and we're not going to get rid of them all. There's no way. ICE has done fantastic so far. But eventually it's going to slow down. Eventually it's going to be actual manhunts. Eventually it's going to be shootings, killings. And then you go from local police being criticized to that to, oh, my God, now you got feds beating on doors, killing immigrants. And they're going to say immigrants. They're not going to say illegals because the media is a bunch of shit. And you know it. So if someone proposed to you, hey, why don't we do this a very nonviolent way? Allow these people to come to us and say, hey, we are illegal. We want to get on the path to becoming American citizens.
Fantastic.
You would say yes if they obviously would have to agree to assimilate. They would have to learn the language. That's a big part. You got to learn to speak English. We all know you speak Spanish. You got to learn to speak English. All right. And if they say yes, cool. But if they say no, and that's the thing. If they like, no, man, and they don't want it.
Why did he become Tony Montana all of a sudden?
I mean, come on. He's a political prisoner. I'm a political prisoner. My name is Tony Montana. Anyway.
Sanitation. I said sanitarium, you idiot.
But I think that you have to assimilate to the culture. This is not your shithole of a country that you just ran from. This is a good country. Apparently, that's why you ran here. So you assimilate or you get fucked. That's my opinion.
And stop stealing social security numbers.
Yeah. I don't understand why these guys need... Why? Typically, y'all work hard. Y'all are very hard-working people. Why do you have to steal from those who also work hard legally? It's my opinion.
That's a good way to end it, Steve.
I agree. Please, if you like the show, for some reason, if you like the show, follow us on Twitter at @SteveTyler_show. Send us articles, insight, criticisms, dick pics,
new intros.
New intros. Please, we need one because apparently our demographic doesn't know who Steven Tyler is. StevenTylerShow@gmail.com. Subscribe to us on iTunes. Follow us on Podbean. Please follow us on Podbean. And when you follow us on Podbean, download the episodes. Download so that I can see that you guys are listening. That helps me out instead of just listening to it. Find us on YouTube at The Steven Tyler Show. Thank you for your time. And thank you very, very much for listening. God bless you and God bless
America.